I don't know what to make of this rule, to be honest. It takes effect during the upcoming regular season. A manager can signal an intentional walk, and rather than having the pitcher throw those 4 pitches to the batter. For me, the way I see it, you're there to play baseball. The pitcher's there to pitch. If the pitcher wants to walk the guy, walk the guy. I really don't see the point of this. I get that they want to shorten the length of the games. They've elongated over the time. But if you're going to play baseball, I say play it the right way. Do the 3 pitches, 4 pitches, however many pitches it takes to get the player to base, whether it's a walk, whatever it may be. What are your thoughts on this?
I almost said something that would have been very let's just say I almost said something where you probably would have hit the beat button a couple different times.
Let's not go that route.
All right. Well, we'll get your hand ready. Baseball changing this rule to speed up a game will have the same effect as masturbating expecting to get someone pregnant. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do a doggone thing. You will shorten the game by maybe if there's enough intentional walks, you may shorten the game by 1 whole minute. That's going to bring viewers in. That's the stupidest rule. If you have a man on third and you have an open base and you just give the signal, man just goes down to first. I have seen intentional walk pitches get away and a man score from third. I have seen intentional walk pitches get away and a man take third. So you are taking away the possibility of something going wrong, which is absolutely asinine. If you really want to speed up this game, and which is really what it's all about, speeding up the game to make it more likable by the younger generation because they like everything put in the microwave and they don't like anything to develop because a lot of youngsters have the attention span of a gnat. So they don't let they want everything now and yesterday. You're doing it the wrong way. What you want to do, I would think, to speed up a game is say you get 1 trip to the mound. Once that trip to the mound comes out from whoever it is, pitcher comes out of the game. Or you get 1 trip to the mound every 3 innings. If you come out there a second time in 3 innings, then that pitcher comes out of the game. A pitcher's been warming up to come in the game, barring an injury. They're warming up. They're loosening up anyway. Yet they come to the mound, and they throw like 15, 20 more pitches. You know what? When you come in, you throw 10 pitches or 5 pitches, or 3 pitches, and you're pitching. You've been warming up already. So now you need to just come in. You need to warm up some more. Shorten that. How about this? When you step in the batter's box, you're in the batter's box. How about this? When you throw the ball back to the pitcher, they have X amount of time to pitch again. Not catch the ball, not rub the ball, not take the glove off, put it under their arm, rub the ball, walk around the mound, come back up, get ready to pitch, step off the rubber, look over to first, step back on the rubber. If you want to speed the game up, do that. Don't save me a minute. That's ridiculous. That's the stupidest rule ever. It's just stupid. That makes no sense. 1 minute. That's going to take a minute off of a game possibly. 1 minute.
Yeah, how much is that really going to take off the game?
You're a baseball genius. You tell me this. If I intentionally walk a guy, that's going to speed me up more than if and you know this one, the intentional walk, where I'm not going to pitch to him, but I'm not going to give an intentional walk. So I'm going to pitch it low and outside and low and low and low and high, real high. We've all seen the intentional walks. That's not going to speed the game up. That's stupid. You know what that is? I'm going to tell you what that is. That's called we're gonna make a change to show people that we're making a change to try to speed it up. We're really not gonna make a change because we really like it the way it is. But we're gonna make this change so people think we're doing something that we're really not doing. Because to the average fan that don't really get into baseball, they won't know the difference anyway. That's the rule. That's what they just did.
Yeah, totally. And another thing, too, when you mentioned that, is they're also at the beginning of you, on your response there, you're also taking that suspense from a pitch going wrong. That's one of the things I like about baseball. You never know what's going to happen. You take away these intentional walks, the ball goes flying out, uncontrollable, and somebody goes home, somebody goes to third, or, you're taking away also from those that are on base the chance to steal as well. So there's a lot of things that they're taking away from this just to want to speed up the game by 1 minute. Talking about time and speed, one of the other rules that I've heard was being proposed, don't know when they're planning on taking effect, if it does, is to have a clock to time the pitcher for those pitches to speed up the game. Should there be a clock at all involved in baseball? We have a clock in basketball. We have a clock, football, whatever it be. Those sports aren't meant for time, to have clocks. Baseball doesn't. I get they want to speed up the game. Yeah, it'll probably help, but I don't know that I agree with it.
Okay. That's what I'm torn on, because I think that's what makes baseball unique, to be perfectly honest with you, that there is no clock. It's a game that ends when the game ends. So personally, I don't want to see a clock put in. Now, they do time this stuff. I was just at the D-backs game, and there's a clock right there that tells you, how long it's taking. They don't use it for anything other than the fact that I guess they're just studying it. But I understand that, I like baseball the way it is, the way it's played, because it's not a game that's meant to be rushed. It's a game that's meant to develop. I do understand, however, that baseball is saying, look, the younger generation just isn't doing it at the same numbers. I mean, that's why UFC is popular with youths, because they like the quickness, the fast pace. That's why certain sports, the X Games are popular with the youth, because they like things fast and now and yesterday. Baseball just isn't designed for that. But if you want to speed it up, I think there are other things you can do. Like, like I said, I'm not a fan of the clock, but at the same time, I mean, we sat next to each other in the press box at D-back games and watch certain pitchers pitch a 2-hour and 45-minute game or a 2.5-hour game, and then the next night, guy gets the ball and the rubbing of the ball, then the walking around the mound, and you're like, good Lord, this inning is taking forever. Dude, pitch already. So we know the differences. I just think it takes away from the game when you I think it takes away from the game when you make too many changes that are going to impact the tradition of the game. And I'm far from being an old fogey, because I like interleague play. I like a lot of things that are newer thoughts. It's just baseball. When you go to a baseball game, you're not going there on the clock. It could take you 2.5 hours. It could take you 4 hours. You already know that. So I don't know. I mean, for the younger generation, I can see why they want to, but I think they have to think of a way to do it where it's not impeding what baseball is, to try to make it basketball or football or hockey or a game that runs on the clock. I just don't think it's the same. Hell, you don't see tennis doing anything to speed up the game.
Exactly.
And there's no clock there. So I just think it's the game is the game.
Yeah, it's baseball. You're there to enjoy yourself. That's one of the things I love about the game is that there's no time. The game goes in so many ways, and it's to be a game to be developed, like you say. And will take away from the game. So if you're not going to, I guess I should say, want to take that time out of your day to enjoy a game for 2.5 hours, 4 hours, whatever it be. You know it's baseball. You should expect that from baseball.
Yeah. Like I said, I understand they want the young fans. I understand that. But maybe I don't know. It's baseball. It's just that's the game. To be honest with you, I think it's more of an American issue than anywhere else because you're seeing less and less American kids playing and more people from around the world playing. And maybe I'm going too deep here, but I think the interest is in that, and this is the truth. People from any country want to watch and assimilate with people from the country that they live in. And I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong in that because when there's a fight, if there's an Italian fighter fighting a Puerto Rican fighter, you see the self-pride and who you are. Puerto Ricans are going to back the Puerto Rican fighter and Italians are going to back the Italian fighters. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You pull for what you see, what you assimilate with, what you know. So I think that since there's less and less, American players coming up, I think that's more of a deeper line of what we necessarily see, if that makes any sense, because you had no issue when it was the All-American game taking forever, but it's not the All-American game anymore. It's the worldwide game. But we see that in every sport. If we really just want to be honest about it, we see that in every sport. I mean, when people are not from this country, their marketability, no matter how good they are, isn't exactly the same as when you're from here. And that's just really a fact. I mean, you have to be beyond special to have that same pull, not just on Madison Avenue, but in rural America. I mean, it's different, and it's like that in every sport. So I think that has maybe not a lot to do with it, but something to do with, we got to speed this up so that way we can keep these young people looking and we can market to people that we assimilate with. So, I mean, hell, Dirk Nowitzki just scored 30,000 points, and today, and listening to other people speak, half of it was he's awesome and he's good, and a lot of people were talking about the flaws in his game. Man scored 30,000 career points, and we're talking about the flaws in his game the day after he scores the 30,000 points. And then when you stop and look, Dirk scored 30,000 points, but I bet you in a trivia question, if you say name the 6 people that scored 30,000 points, he may be one of the last people that comes to your mind. Obviously, Jordan, Kobe, Wilt, Kareem, they're all going to come to your mind before he would. Karl Malone, they're going to all come to your mind first because the average person from any country that's in that country, they're going to assimilate to that person that's from their country first. It's just the way it goes. I mean, there's no getting around that.
No, that's true. But all I have to say is it's really not something that's making a huge impact on the game, or if it's something that you really shouldn't touch, just don't touch it. Just leave it. Let it be.
You are right. It's a minute. It's a minute.
Yeah.
It's a minute. The only time a minute is bad is when, I ain't got to go any further. You know what I'm talking about? That's the only time a minute is bad. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only time. That's the only time anybody gets mad about a minute.
Seriously.
And it's usually one-sided argument. Yeah. It's not the person that's giving a minute. It's the person that's getting a minute. That's the only person that's bad.
boy. Anywho.
Yeah, go ahead. Transition from that one.